In the past 2 decades, the Hallyu wave has quickly created one of the biggest phenomena Vietnam has ever seen. Vietnamese, especially youth, could not help but get aboard on the bandwagon one by one, all thanks to the exposure of Korean culture through K-drama, K-pop. It has become so big of an impact that youngsters now live and breathe anything Korean. Not only boosting tourism, South Korean films and dramas have also turned South Korea into a hot spot for cuisine, cosmetic, and fashion of the whole Asia. The government even admitted that they accurately invested to the film industry to boost the foundation of the promotion of South Korean image and culture around the world. Seeing as there already exists a perfect foundation for the Hallyu wave to take extra steps in Vietnam, many collaborations between Vietnam and Korea have been introduced since. However, one of the most prominent and wide-scale collaboration has been Tuoi Thanh Xuan, or also known by international fans as Forever Young. It is a drama collaboration between two well-known names in the industry, Vietnam's national television broadcaster, VTV, and South Korea's largest entertainment industry company, CJ Pictures. Even before the drama was released or cameras had even started rolling, the media was ready 24/7 to cover anything Forever Young related, and lots of time slots were reserved for its promotion prior to initial release. After brewing for quite a while, finally on the 17th of December 2014, one of the biggest collaborations between Vietnam and Korea was introduced to the Vietnamese audience. The story follows two main leads, Linh and Junsu. Linh is a Vietnamese K-pop fangirl whose aspiration in life is to simply meet her idols, and she was determined to do so through an exchange program. Being the only daughter in the family, she has always had it easy throughout her whole life, so having her parents agree to let her study abroad in Korea is no big deal. Junsu, on the other hand, is a trainee of a Korean boy band who's going through difficulties before the debut. Somewhere in between, the paths these two young people cross, and just like that, feelings blossom, and lessons of failure and successes are learned along the way. Riding on the ambiguous popularity of Hallyu in Vietnam, Forever Young created quite a buzz with a few big names in the industry. For instance, 1 out of 3 directors of the drama is a very well-known name to fans of K-dramas because of his previous work. Another example is Yoon Hyuk, one of the 13 members of the boy band Super Junior, whose fan base is in the top 3 in Vietnam. The third episode, where Yoon Hyuk will have a small cameo in, generated a lot of attention from both Vietnamese and international fans. Due to the popularity that Tuoi Thanh Xuan generated, they won a lot of awards at the VTV award show. Witnessing the heavy influence of South Korean popular culture on Vietnamese entertainment industry, in which elements of Korean pop culture coexist with Vietnamese culture elements, creating a rather chaotic yet charming complex. You cannot help but wonder whether the widespread popularity of Forever Young was mainly thanks to the existing success of the Hallyu wave in Vietnam.
là nhiều. Nhưng mà đấy vẫn còn nhiều lúc mà yếu tố Việt Nam hay là yếu tố Hàn Quốc, cho nên là mình nghĩ là không có sao hết. Nói chung là ngả về Hàn Quốc thì là nhiều hơn, tôi thấy thật sự là như thế. Nhưng mà nếu như ngả về Hàn Quốc luôn mà mình mà làm các phim mà chất lượng mà như này thì chắc nền văn hóa nghệ thuật này của mình là đạt tiêu chuẩn.
Hạn chế đến việc cảnh Hàn Quốc được ưu ái nhiều hơn, cho nên cảm thấy cái cảnh đẹp Việt Nam chưa có được lên phim nhiều lắm mà chưa quảng bá nhiều lắm, nó hơi thiệt thòi cho Việt Nam mình chỗ đó. Tức là chị không cảm giác các bộ phim Hàn Quốc nó được Việt hóa nhiều, nhất là về nội dung câu chuyện và thậm chí kể cả nhân vật của Kang Tae-ho chị thấy cảm giác nó có dấu ấn của đạo diễn Việt Nam ở trong nhân vật của bạn ấy. Không, hay hơn những bộ phim truyền hình Việt Nam khác. Trước giờ chị không có thích, cũng thích phim Việt nhưng mà không có xem xong không có bị ám ảnh là phải coi đi coi lại rồi yêu thích đến độ như thế này. Chị nói đây là một thành công của phim Việt.
Nên có nhiều bộ phim hợp tác Việt Hàn hơn nữa để có thể giúp cho quan hệ văn hóa giữa hai nước Việt Hàn phát triển và cũng thu hút thêm nhiều người vừa đam mê yếu tố Hàn Quốc trong bộ phim mà vừa có thể để cho những người Việt Nam càng yêu quý thêm.
So it seems like our hypothesis wasn't right. So what do you think is the reason why Tuoi Thanh Xuan got popular? So based on the research that we conducted, both one-on-one person with all the fans that we met at Kang Tae-ho's fan meeting, and the survey that we sent out to one of the fan club community, and the response we got was completely the opposite of what we expected. And more than 50% of the people we interviewed said that they were not previously not K-pop fans before. So obviously that means, it was not influenced by the Hallyu wave as we expected. And also secondly, many responses said that the main reason they watch it was because, one, the cast members and their professional acting skills, and also all the technical work behind the camera,
the cinematography.
The cinematography and everything was better than what they had seen in Vietnamese dramas. So I think that's one huge point. Anything else you'd like to add?
I think a lot of people said that the plot was really good as well. So because they can see elements of Korean dramas on the plot as well. So it was more captivating, it was more fascinating, and it kept them from watching from the beginning to the end. I also think that the Korean elements, even though it wasn't the main idea why Tuoi Thanh Xuan got popular, but it serves as the hook to get people into the dramas, kept them there, It's an additional reason why Tuoi Thanh Xuan got popular, even though it wasn't the main thing. So interviewing and conducting surveys and researching, I feel like the deep lying reason why Tuoi Thanh Xuan got popular is because of the cultural hybridity that lies in the collaboration between Vietnam and Korea. What do you think?
I think it's a unique selling point that sets Tuoi Thanh Xuan as well as Korean dramas apart from Vietnamese dramas. And as you can see before the drama was even released, there were a lot of promotional pieces. And for every piece, the opening line would be something along like this collaboration work between Vietnamese and Korean industry. So I think it is something that they realized strongly on at the beginning. And also we know that every part of production required the involvement both from Vietnamese and Korean staff, from production to screenwriting and editing. The Korean filmmaking industry is way more advanced than our industry. So I think we have a lot to learn from what they.
From what I see from the drama, I think the cinematography was so much better, and also some of our interviewees also stressed that. I think it's because of the Korean involvement in the cinematography that it got so much better. And also Tuoi Thanh Xuan really is special is because it's not really it's not 100% Korean, not 100% Vietnamese, but it's a collaboration between the two of them. So it really creates that dynamic that set it apart from other Vietnamese drama.
And I think they also wanted to make it fair
Yeah.
by did a lot of shooting in Korea, both in Korea and in Vietnam as well, to promote both tourism for both countries.
Well, that is one of the concerns that some of our interviewees raised as well. That they said, even though it's a collaboration between Vietnam and South Korea, but they feel that the Korean elements were a little bit dominating. The series was about 30 episodes long, but
36.
nearly 20 of that was filmed in Korea. So Vietnam didn't really have that much part to show off the beautiful scenery or the people or the culture, and it's one of the main concern of cultural hybridity, because I think cultural hybridity needs to be more balanced instead of one dominating the other. And we know that South Korean government have that soft power strategy to use its culture to dominate other countries' culture. We need to stay alert to keep our culture and also make it fair in other upcoming collaboration, because Tuoi Thanh Xuan isn't that fair after all.
However, I think this is just one of the very first few collaborations between Vietnam and Korea, and so it's a first step for everything. And,
it will get better.
It will get better, hopefully.
Yeah, I think cultural hybridity will bring more opportunity for us to learn and improve ourselves, but at the same time we need to be careful not to let anything dominate our own. From May 2016, Tuoi Thanh Xuan has begun filming for its second installment in South Korea and Vietnam respectively, first slated release by the end of October. Regarding the concern of the lack of Vietnamese scenes and elements in the first series, the production team revealed that Tuoi Thanh Xuan 2 will mostly be filmed in Vietnam, showcasing beautiful sceneries and cultures from Da Nang, Hanoi to Ha Long Bay. Hopefully, we'll be able to watch a more balanced cultural hybridity media product by the end of this year. We'll be looking forward to Tuoi Thanh Xuan 2.